Hi there, my name is Katie, and I decided that I wanted to tell people about my first 90 days with VIPKid. This video is not sponsored by VIPKid in any way other than the fact that I am a VIPKid teacher. So yeah, let's get to it. My VIPKid time started about a year ago. One of my friends from college was posting about it and how she did it and how she enjoyed it, and I had heard about it before, but I wasn't really interested because I had a really horrible experience teaching in an actual classroom, and I didn't want to teach anymore. So I was like, no, I'm content doing what I'm doing, and I just didn't want to. Something changed though at that time. My husband and I got married. It was about almost a year ago now, August 4th. He and I, got married, had the normal couple problems, I guess, of like money. Money's always a couple problem. And so I was like, how can I make more money? And so VIPKid came to mind. My roommate from college, she was posting about it, and I'm like, I can give this a try. So anyway, I went through the initial process, past whatever, I don't even remember anymore, it was so long ago. And then I found that you had to do a mock class, and that terrified me. I did not want to do it, so I was like, I'll just stick to what I was already doing. And so I just kind of forgot about it and left it on the back burner. The options were still there, and every once in a while it would pop into my head to do it again, but I just didn't until it was about April of this year that I saw my old roommate commenting, or not commenting, but posting about VIPKid again, and I was like, you know what, I need to get back and do this. So I did what's called the express demo, thinking like, oh, maybe I don't have to do my mock class. Cool. So I did that and got the results really fast that I could continue on and schedule my mock class. So I was like, oh, crap, I don't want to. But I did. I went ahead and scheduled it. I watched a ton of YouTube videos in preparation. I talked to my roommate, now my referring mentor, talked to her a lot. She was willing to Skype and help me out, give me tips for how to succeed. Anyway, so I had that mock class scheduled, and I was ready to go. 2 hours before my mock class, I did something that you're not supposed to do, that they tell you if you do, you are out of the process completely, and I canceled. I canceled my mock class. And so my thought process was, oh well, I didn't want to do that mock class anyway, stupid mock class, and I just kind of went on with my life. I didn't have much time to go on with my life, though, because that next day I got an email saying, please reschedule your mock class. And so I was thoroughly confused. I'm like, this must be a mistake. And then I got a call from VIPKid, and they were like, is this teacher Caitlin? And I was like, no, we're not officially. And then she told me I could continue on with the process and I could still do the mock class. Everything was fine. And so I scheduled another mock class and prepared for that, and again did the thing that I do not recommend doing. Don't do this. I canceled again. Anxiety is a real thing, people, and I have it really bad. So I canceled again. And at that point I was like, there's no way they're gonna want me as a teacher. I've already canceled 2 mock classes. It's just, they're not gonna want me. And so I didn't expect anything to come of it. I told Kyle, no, I'm not doing this. This is stupid. I remember having that exact conversation with him of, I don't want to do this. And he was like, okay, you do what you want to do. I'm supportive of you. And he was, and he always has been. So I was like, well, that's that. I don't need VIPKid anyway. And I thought that was it. I thought there was no way they'd ever let me try again. But as chance would have it, I think I got another email about rescheduling it, and then I think my friend contacted me and was like, hey, how's it going? And I was like, this was really embarrassing. But anyway, I got the third one scheduled, and third time's the charm, right? So I actually did it. I actually went to the mock class, had a good time. It was enjoyable. And she told me the wait was about 24 hours before I would hear something. It was less than 2 hours. I went to bed knowing that I had passed, which was a major surprise, let me tell you. So I I did that, and I was hired. I still had to go through signing the contract phase. I had to create a profile page, so I had to take a video, so my intro video, and then I had to take, I had to have a couple of pictures of me, and then me doing things like, I have a picture of me at VBS with the kids, so just so that parents can see what you do, how you interact with kids. And one thing I recommend, because you have to write a bio, and this is not new to me, I did not come up with this, I actually heard this from another teacher, but run your bio through Google Translate and just and then run it back and see how it translates. And make sure it makes sense, because some of our translations get really wacky. Once you get your parent feedback, you start to understand that these things don't make any sense sometimes, no matter what platform they use to translate. So I did that, and I got everything set up, and it took 2 to 3 weeks to get my first booking. So this was in May, June, July. Yeah, it was in May. I got my first booking on a Wednesday morning with the very end level 3 student. He was getting ready to go into level 4. Very smart, didn't really need my help. The kid, he knew everything. That was really fun. I could actually converse with him. We talked about candy. And that he liked running, and that's some higher level stuff. So that was really cool. And I didn't get any feedback. You get an apple feedback. So 5 apples is great, and it just goes downhill from there. 4, all right. 3 is 2, oh no, and then 1 is tear-inducing. I have heard from other teachers. So with that, I didn't get any feedback, and I was okay with it. It was my first class. I wouldn't want my first anything to be graded. Like, that's why we don't grade first drafts of papers, right? Right, except for completion. So I did that, and then I think I had another class scheduled shortly after that. But May was very slow. I think I only had two or three classes, and then I did an incentive, so I got some pay for that, but no classes came out of it. June picked up a little bit. I had classes scattered. July has been great for me, not for everybody. I'm thankful. Mine are picking up. The first part of July was a little sad, but things have gotten progressively better. I fully believe that things are going to be great in September. Right now we run into the problem of students are going on vacation. Regular school teachers are back in doing this full time, so there are more teachers to choose from, and so it just makes it a little bit harder to get bookings when the supply is high and the demand is lower. But I also heard supplementary courses are a pretty big deal right now. So if you can get certified for that, go ahead. I can't yet. I haven't met the requirements, and that's okay. I did something else to help my bookings. You could do a video showcase, and lots of people are like, no, it doesn't really help, but I've gained followers and seen an increase in my bookings, so I think it helped. Hopefully it will help in the long run. So May and June, not really. I did the workshops. I revamped my video. I have learned how to edit. That's one thing that came out of this that I did not think would. I can I'm gonna use iMovie for this video. So I learned how to like cut video and stuff. So that's pretty cool. So right now, July has kind of been the month where I had my VIPKid turning point. Got the full VIPKid experience. I got my first short notice booking. I got my trial certificate, so I got my first trial class bookings. Got my first student no-shows from those. Sorry. First cancellations, 24-hour cancellations, so I got paid for that and didn't have to go to class. Got my first student IT problem, first late student. First unit assessment. I like unit assessments. I'm weird, but it's fun. Test days were always fun in the classroom, so yeah. Not when I was taking the tests though. But when you're administering the tests, it's all right. But so far, the students that I've seen with the UAs, the unit assessments, they always do really good. For me, I have heard other things, and I there's no doubt in my mind I will experience it all if I continue doing this, which that is my plan. Right now, I think things are looking up. Like I said, my bookings have picked up since I did that video showcase, and I love it. I will touch a little bit on pay because that seems to be a big question people have. If you're going to get a job and commit to it, you want to know that it's going to be worth your while. I consider this to be worth my while. It's your base pay is $7 to $9 per 25 hour. Or, holy cow, 25 hours, that's horrible. $7 to $9 per 25 minutes, so $14 to $18 an hour. But then they have pretty awesome incentives. So, I mean, that sounds pretty good, right? Sounds pretty good. But then if you come to class on time, you get $1 per class. So let's say your base pay is $8 per 25 minutes. That ups it to $9, so $18 an hour. Let's say you teach 45 classes a month, not a week, but a month. Then you get an extra $1 per class. So that bumps your base pay to $10 per 25 minutes, or $20 an hour. And then there's also this other cool thing where if you book short notice, so from 24 hours to 1 hour before class, you get an extra $2. So that could be potentially $24 an hour. And then if you teach trials and you get a student that signs up for a trial, you get an extra $5, so that's pretty cool. But to be honest, you get more student no-shows with trials, I've noticed. They're free for the students, so they don't always show up, which is fine. You just get to sit there for 20 or 15 minutes and then you get to leave and you still get paid. And then sometimes they do incentives, so you really they make it worth your while. People do this full time. They can work 40 hours a week. People work more than 40 hours a week. I've seen these schedules, and there is actually a time that you cannot teach where people are sleeping. I think it's just a curfew. So you have that time that you can't teach, but then the other slots that these teachers have, I mean, they're just going, teaching, and kudos to them. I couldn't do it. I have another job. I have another couple of jobs. I'm a jack of all trades. It's probably one reason why I get sick so much, because I go. But their class schedule is insane to me, and I think I would die. Probably not, but so people do this full time. People can do short notice full time, so they really are making bank at that point. And then you can get a raise every 3 contracts. Each contract is 6 months. The raises, though, they're hit or miss, but it's okay. You have certain requirements that you have to meet, so it's all right. One warning, if you join any of the Facebook groups, which I think I've joined almost all of them that are relevant to me, I highly recommend joining them, but just make sure that you realize a couple of things. One, it's Facebook. People can be mean. Tone doesn't travel well through text. And then people, sometimes like myself, although I'm perfect, tend to think that they know everything, and then they'll let you know that they think they know everything, which it's like that with everything on Facebook, everything on the internet. So you just have to learn how to navigate. But anyway, those Facebook groups are a great resource as long as you can use them well and navigate through the bad. So use good discernment, good judgment when it comes to the Facebook groups. So I do recommend joining those, but like I said, just be careful. But they are a great tool. And I highly recommend joining if you're interested. Another caveat, about money, is to make sure that you are taking out money for your taxes. Since we're independent contractors, they don't take out the money for our taxes, and we have to do it ourselves. And so the recommended percentage is 30%. I'm a weirdo and take out 50%, because I don't like taxes. Meaning that I don't like to be in trouble when it comes to taxes. So I want to make sure that I'm taking enough out and that I have enough set aside, so I'm not scrambling come tax season. It's like, oh, you owe blah blah blah. I was like, okay, I owe blah blah blah. Here's blah blah blah. But consult a tax prepper, a tax professional, because they know more about it than I do. I know, there are things that I can claim, but I don't know what they are yet, and so I'll find that out when it comes time for taxes. Also, another tip, you might think that you need to buy a lot of stuff for your classroom. That's what I thought initially, and you really don't. You're here to make money, and hopefully save money. If you want to spend your money on props, great, more power to you. That it's your prerogative and it's what you want to do to make your classroom great. But there are cheap ways to do things. Like if you have a printer, that's one great resource. If you have kids, their toys are great resources. I don't have kids, I have cats. So I think it's gonna stay that way. I prefer cats. Anyway, so I just use my printer. Printed out Meg over here. Got Dino. Yay! If you do want to go buy props, though, I recommend Target. Target's dollar spot, especially right now. So many good things. This star wand comes in handy. You get a star. It's also my microphone. You do a lot of singing, especially at the lower levels. The higher levels you don't, but there is singing involved. You don't have to be good at it because the students aren't normally good at it, but they have fun, and I have fun listening to them. Anyway, also, going back to props, You can also, you could be a minimalist. You don't have to use a lot of props. You can gradually build up your prop arsenal. That's kind of what I have going on right here. I don't want too many props, but make sure you stay organized with whatever you use. A lot of people use Google Slides, which you can use your phone, you can use a tablet, and you can even use you can have your secondary rewards on the phone or a tablet. You don't have to go out and buy things like ice cream. That one's one of my favorites. Or you can create your own. I do Find a Star on one of my whiteboards. By the way, I have 3 whiteboards now. That was my own choice. But I like whiteboards. I feel like they come in handy for me and for my class. So there are ways to do it cheap. You don't have to have a lot of stuff. The only thing you really do need is a good internet connection, a computer, and a space to do it, and good lighting, which that can come from a light, a bunch of lamps. I've seen some pretty interesting and really cool and creative setups. So, and then also to apply, now that we're talking about what you need a bachelor's degree and at least 1 year of experience with children. It doesn't have to be teaching. I think it can even be just babysitting, for all it's worth. So, it's not a lot. And you don't have to have a teaching background. I don't, at least educational. I just majored in straight up English, not English education, because I never thought I'd be teaching. I thought I'd go to law school. Didn't happen. But I like teaching, so this is good. Anyway, those are things that you need to know, and also my first 90 days with VIPKid. Before I go, I'd like to leave you with my, at this time, favorite story of a student. I know that will change the more classes I teach, but this past Wednesday I had a repeat student, so a second time with this student. And the first time, she was all over the place. She had so much energy. She wasn't paying attention. At one point I was praising her and I said, "Excellent." And she tried to say excellent. She's like, escalent, I think is what she said. And it was really funny, but I was like, okay. But she wasn't paying attention at all. Anyway, so I had her as a repeat student. I wasn't worried. I like the energy of the kids. And anyway, I had her as a repeat student, and she was definitely more focused. She was able to answer the questions. She did a phenomenal job in class. And I would praise her. I'd let her find a star. And every time I would say, "Good job, you got a star, high five," she would jump on her bed and dance around. And I was like, oh my goodness. And there was that connection there that I needed. Having been down in the dumps for the past couple of weeks with just various things, I just needed that pick-me-up. And I left class happy, and I really, that was one of my moments of, I think I'm going to keep doing this because I really, really like it. And it's very rewarding. If there's one thing that you get out of it, it's that the kids are great and that you're doing something helpful, something good for them. So anyway, that's my first 90 days. And I hope this was a help. If it was a help to you, like the video or comment or whatever you want to do. But also, I will leave my referring link down below just in case I helped you or you want me to continue helping. And I will gladly do that. And if you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I love to answer. Anyway, thanks so much for watching my video. I'll see you next time. Bye!